My name is Teresa Bagnesarova. I'm also one of the co-chairs for the South Salt Lake Women in Business Committee, and I am a network director for United Way. We'd love to get to know each and every one of you. If you'd like to introduce yourself, starting with James, he's the first on our screen. Also, if you could add your LinkedIn or any contact information to the chat, let's get connected and get the ball rolling. So James, would you like to hit it off?
Yes, my name is James Brown. I am host and producer of a new television show called Living and Aging with Pride, which will air on ABC4 and AMG TV nationally, reaching about 80 million available households. My show focuses on advising and bringing information to all of us who are aging and all of us who think we're not aging. I have to tell you that everybody is going to get older. So this program addresses that issue, tries to work and develop solutions and remedies for those of us who are aging. And I'm not one of them. I'm the youngest one in the group here. And don't you laugh over there, Sean. But anyway, I'm happy to be here. I love Gary. I've got one big complaint. Next time you have a virtual, invite me to the brewery over there because I want to be next to whatever it is, beverages you're pouring on each other so I can enjoy that. You know what I mean? When you get older, you want to pour the beverage on you. You don't want to drink it, you know?
No problem. Thank you, James. All right, I have Jill up next. Hi, Jill.
Hello, I have my friend Jen here with me.
Hello. Hi, Jen.
We're ready. I just really like Shades, so that's why I'm here.
We're big fans.
Huge fans of the sours, personally. So
Right, we're building.
Brownie points, well said.
Yeah.
Guavalicious is my personal favorite.
Mine too.
Which is very
Guavalicious.
sad.
I have like 20 of them in my fridge.
Ooh.
Because it's discontinued because you aren't making anymore. So I'm like terrified.
What's your address and what time does the party start?
Yeah.
We just took shots, so the party's already started. And I'm in Marmalade District.
All right, I think
Right
I
here.
have Christine next. Hi, Christine.
Are you saying Christy or Christine?
Christine.
Oh, I think that's me then, right? I found this event on Eventbrite. I've been on work from home since last March. And so I've just been trying to find stuff that's fun to do. This looked really fun. So I'm also, I see Ross is on there. I'm also a Romero. And I went and picked up all my Shades flavors. So I'm excited to try them. I had never really tried them before. So this is fun. And I recognize Teresa because I went to a United Way event. That was really cool. And Jennifer, we've connected. Yeah, I'm just happy to be here and meet some people.
Awesome. We're so excited to have you. Okay. Oh, everyone's telling me to take off my mask. Hi, so you can see me smiling. Sean, you are next.
Wonderful. My name is Sean Newell. I'm with Industrial Supply Company. I'm the Vice President of Business Development for Industrial Supply. I also have a LLC that I run separate. I do consulting and life coaching with that LLC. And I'm happy to be here. I wish I would have gone down and grabbed some of those cold ones because you guys are making me jealous. But I will live vicariously through everybody this afternoon and enjoy the time sitting here and building this network.
It's great to have you, Sean, and it's great to see you again. Okay, Christy.
Guess I need to be off mute here. I'm Christy Ricketson. I work for Vox Network Solutions, and I'm also part of the Women in Business. And I can't remember the event about a year and a half ago that you had, Teresa. It was I think it was the summer social. That's the first time I tried Shades beer. There was the plum. It was a plum sour beer, and it was pink, and it was beautiful, and it was the best beer I'd ever had. So I was very excited to join this event and get some of the beer.
Oh, she has it. There we go. I agree. It's the best beer I've ever had, too. Okay.
Started. It's the first sour I had.
Yeah, really? Look at that. Okay. Everyone, definitely, if you haven't gotten your flights now, get some Shades beer after, 100%. All right, Ross, you are next.
Okay, I'm new to the Shades family, so I went down and got my stash. Big fan of James Brown and Sean Newell. I do some consulting business in diversity and inclusion and government relations. I know Gary Birdsall from years back, and glad to see what he's doing with the chamber there, and appreciate me being informed through him about this event.
It's great to have you, Ross. And then we have Jennifer Goodwin.
Hi, everyone. So I am Jennifer Goodwin, and I am the Director of Selection over at Northwestern Mutual here in the downtown office. I am also on the South Salt Lake Women in Business Committee with Teresa and Terry there. And I'm also the chair for the Salt Lake Chamber Businesswomen's Forum as well. And I got my beer yesterday. I was so excited, and I'm actually still here at the office. So I'll have to wait until afterwards to enjoy the beer, but I have it and I'm really excited. I love Shades. I used to go listen to music and just hang out outside on the bench and play some games back in pre-COVID, if you will.
Awesome. Well, thank you for getting your beer. That'll be a good treat after work. And then we have Michelle and Olivia. So Michelle, would you like to go first? No, you're on mute.
There we go. My name's Michelle Isaac. I'm part of the Women in Business group as well. I work for Salt Click Consulting. We do Salesforce and business consulting. Yeah, great. I love Shades. I can ride my bike there, and I can't wait for this weather warming up and get some rides and get some Shades.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. Olivia.
Hello, my name's Olivia McGregor, and I am a customer success manager at Vox Network Solutions, and I'm also part of the South Salt Lake Women in Business Committee. I unfortunately can't drink beer due to a gluten allergy, but I'm always up to support our events.
You hear Terry in the background. Thank you.
Do you guys make any rice beer? Do they sell any rice beer? Or gluten-free?
There's a seltzer gluten-free, Olivia, just for you.
Ooh, all right. I'm going to have to check that out.
Terry, pick her up some.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We're so excited. Everyone introduce themselves. So I'm gonna kick it off to Gary. Gary has a few words to say, and then we're going to give it over to Leslie and Alex. So Gary, would you like to come over here? I'll swap you.
Hi all. Cheers, and thanks for helping us start this process. It's you know, Ross, Sean, there's some folks I haven't seen for a while, and it's good to see all of you. I mean, those of you that I do know on a regular basis, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just acknowledging the people I haven't seen for a long time. It's well, every time I turn around, Sean's involved in something big. So I'm impressed, young man. You keep up the good work. Shades has been in this, well, following me is going to be Alex and Trent Fargher, the owners of this incredible establishment. You've already met everyone else. At the end of the discussion from our business owners, Shades, and I know the Fargers have been very happy to hear some of the kudos coming from those of you who already know Shades and get down to Shades and love their product. It's amazing. So when that's done, you're going to hear from Leslie Allen, who's the director of the South Salt Lake Arts Council. There's so much going on in this city. Oh, there has been ever since she got here 5 or 6 years ago. I can't remember the exact number. But so I'm going to turn it over to Alex and Trent. And if you guys want, maybe take a mask off long enough so they know exactly who you are and what you look like, okay? So take it away, Shades of Pale.
Okay. Can you hear me? No? Yes, okay, okay, great. So I'm Alexandra Ortiz de Fargher, and I am married to this guy. Come say hello. Okay, perfect. And we started Shades Brewing almost 10 years ago. We just had our 10th year anniversary. We started the business part-time, working evenings and weekends in about 500 square feet, basically a glorified garage in Park City. And we moved to Salt Lake City, or South Salt Lake, a little over 5 years ago. And we moved into what is an old abandoned meat packing plant, the High Grades meat building. And it's served as a beautiful brewery for us during this time. So one of the reasons that we moved to Salt Lake is Trent fell in love with the infrastructure, and we really wanted to be more a part of the community in Salt Lake. And this building had beautiful pipes, lots of water, big machine power, washable walls, and all the things that you needed in order to run a production brewery. So we have been here for almost 6 years. In that time, we've been able to develop a number of beers and a number of brands. I will show you what we have. So we have our Shades brands, and all together now we have almost 25 or more permanent brands in production. We have, let's see, we have a beer to go store out of our facility here, and a tap room where we currently located, in an outdoor beer garden. We also sell wholesale to bars and restaurants. We sell in the grocery stores. We sell in the liquor stores. And we are in the process of expanding out of state. We've already moved into Idaho and the Mammoth Mountains of California, and are looking to continue that expansion. Kind of one of the things that we are known for is bold beers, distinctive flavors. Most of our beers really don't taste like the next tap over. They're pretty unique. And most recently, people love our sour beers. We love our sour beers. When I talk about distinct and different, we have Pina Colada beer. We have a Thai Tonka type beer. And then we've now developed several other lines. So we have a line of low calorie, low carb beers, and that's our Fit line. What did I do with the can? Anyway, that's okay. It disappeared. Those are our Fit brews. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is.
I did it.
So if you see this in the grocery stores, primarily you might see them at Winco or Walmart. These are fabulous. And then we've just released the line of hard seltzers. So for those of you who are gluten-free or just really love the hard seltzers, we have our Lively line. These are now in Whole Foods and Harmon's grocery stores. And here in April, they're going to go into Smith's and a lot of other stores with that. Yay! If you see this particular beer in the grocery stores, this is our Plum Berliner Weiss, which, gosh, one of our attendees mentioned. And there we are, yes. So this beer is now outselling most of the beers. It is a rock star. It's absolutely delicious. You can find it at the grocery stores, and it is pink. Totally awesome. Do you want to tell them a little bit about some of the beers and our philosophy from a brewing perspective? And then
our philosophy is really making a well-balanced beer no matter what we do. What we find is that there's a couple different ways about going about developing a product. We have either a yeast-forward beer, like a Belgian style beer, which would be our Aphrodite, our Belgian triple or Belgian quad, where the yeast does a lot of the work and basically adds the flavors. That would also include our Fit beer, which is a Belgian wit. And as I said, the yeast, when I say yeast gives off flavors, it gives off esters during the fermentation process. And that's how we get the flavors to be banana and clove and some of the other interesting things that happen there. And that's based on temperature as well during the fermentation process. The other thing that we look at is we look at hop forward beers, and that would be beers like our Slick City IPA, where it's a typical IPA or a pale ale or a hazy IPA. And those are all done flavoring wise with the hops. The yeast just does the fermentation, doesn't add a lot of flavor to it. So we look at that. And then the last kind of beer that we make, which we don't really have many of them anymore because they were kind of the beers that everybody drank in the 2000s, early 2000s and late 90s that we've really progressed beyond. And that's malt flavored beers. And that would be beers like amber ales, maybe even some of the pale ale to a certain extent, certainly English bitters, which aren't very popular anymore. Real malty, caramely flavors. They just don't sell that well because the new stuff is a lot more exciting and interesting and complex. But so we look at those three things when we're developing a product. And then in addition to that, we say, how can we mix and match all of those aspects together to give the right balance so that when the beer drinker tastes those, they have a great experience, not only in their mouth, what it looks like in the glass and what it smells like, you know, after opening and pouring into glass as you raise to your mouth. The last thing that we've kind of started doing, Alex touched upon this a little bit, is our sour line. We started out with our Berliner Plum as a base sour beer. It's a kettle sour. And the way we sour the beer is we actually use lactobacillus during the brewing process. Basically, it's good belly probiotic that we actually throw into the mash kettle into the brewing kettle after we extract the wort off the mash. And we actually let it ferment for about 24 hours, which lowers the pH, and that's what gives the tartness to the beer. We get that down to between about 3.5 to 3.0 pH, depending on the level of tartness. And then from there, we start the boil. It kills that lactobacillus off, and then we just do a standard fermentation on top of that to create the base between a sour and then adding fruits and other adjuncts on top of it, then to sweeten it back up to give it that right balance. And that would be the beer like what Alex talked about, the pina colada where we use pineapple coconut, or the Thai tom kha where we're using kaffir leaves, galangal, lemongrass, I can't even remember, coconut. So we use all those flavors. And then Alex said we had 43 different beers. Another one we did, which is kind of fun, is we didn't do the sour, but we used the sour base without souring. And we did a cream ale instead. And this ended up becoming a pistachio, vanilla, pistachio ice cream ale that we did. So we try to infuse a lot of different flavors and mimic some of the food dishes that you have out there, which really brings a different aspect of what people are looking for, and never really knew that beer could taste like that. So that's kind of our niche. That's what we do, and we have fun doing it. And we hope you enjoy it too.
One more thing. So tomorrow we actually are releasing our Shamrock Shake cream ale, and Shamrock Shake even has cotton candy in it. I know how Irish cotton candy is, but we thought green cotton candy would be cool in the beer.
It tastes like a Shamrock Shake you get at McDonald's. It's vanilla and mint, yeah. It's crazy, and it's green.
Just in time.
It's gonna be perfect. It will go with Ellie's Irish stew.
Repeat what I'm saying here. Just say Gary wanted to say, you to remind them, this is healthy stuff, because I heard the term probiotics.
Yeah.
So this is healthy.
Gary says it's healthy, you should come get it. So he says it's made with probiotics. He knows all about probiotics. And in fact, I can tell you how healthy it is. I read an article yesterday online that there's a guy out in, I think he's in Denver, that is going to live off beer for Lent. That's all he's going to do. No food intake other than beer for 46 days.
And this is where? Colorado?
This is in Colorado, yeah. So this is the third year he's done this in a row. And if you want to go on a weight loss diet, this is the way to do it. In the first 14 days, he cut 46 pounds.
He wasn't sober, but he cut 46 pounds.
He's having fun doing it.
Can you buy the Shamrock beer in stores or just at the brewery?
Just at our brewery and select bars and restaurants.
Awesome.
Tell them what your hours are as far as picking up beer to go and then tap room. Since
Oh,
they
okay.
mentioned they need to come and get the beer.
Gary's asking us to share about our hours of operation, which have been a little fluid due to COVID, I have to say. So we were open from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every day for beer to go. And now that we've reopened the tap room, we have expanded those hours. And as people have asked us to open more hours, we're kind of adding it. So we've reopened the tap room Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the tap room is open until 9 p.m. So we've extended those beer to go hours. And then people have asked us if they could come earlier. So just last week, we changed our hours on Friday to 1 p.m. And there was a line, people waiting for us when we opened. So I guess that's a good thing. And then Saturdays, we're now open at 1 p.m. So we're open early. So we're open from 1 to 9 p.m. We used to be closed Sundays. Now we're open Sundays because people were asking us. And as of like about, 3 or 4 weeks ago, we're open Sundays, and Sundays are really good. People love coming. A lot of people are coming after they're skiing or playing. Right? So the hours on Sunday are from noon to 6. And even I have to remember what are hours again, but they're on the website. And so if there's some different hours that you would like, please let us know. We're working on
that. Really, at the end of the day, if somebody's here and it's after 11 o'clock in the morning, we'll sell you beer.
Yeah. Yeah. So what happened with COVID is we literally moved the whole operation outside into the dock, which meant that, we still need to receive shipments.
And send stuff out.
Yeah, we've now set up our refrigerators and coolers right by the door because it's been cold. And so, so that's kind of like the craziness that's been coming up.
When the weather gets nice, your back patio,
Gary's mentioned our back patio. Last summer, we operated strictly outside. We've reopened the tap room, and actually it's been really busy. People love coming, and they're now sitting in the patio because we had some really warm days. And so, we have a nice patio. And
so we extended the patio out in the back from the back of the building to the Commonwealth Avenue. About 140 feet of seating area out there in terms of length, and about 18 feet wide or so. And we ended up topping it off with artificial turf. So it's a nice area to come in and hang out during the summer. We have sun sails and lights. It's kind of a cozy place. This year we're upgrading the seating to add additional picnic tables. Last year it was chairs and wine barrels. And we'll have a mix this year so that we can fit more in and have more groups come in together with picnic tables.
One more thing, we're a little bit of a speakeasy. And now you're in the know as well. So you'll know to come find us. So we're on a street called Utopia. The building used to extend all the way to the corner of Southwest Temple and Utopia, which is basically 2300 South. But a developer came in, they chopped the building in half, and they built apartments in the corner. So now you see the high-grade apartments, and you don't see anything about us, but we're working on a sign. And
we've been here 6 years without a sign, and we still get found.
That's right. So look for the red door. Doesn't really look like you could come into like a tap room or like a bar or a restaurant, nothing. Just a red door and loading docks. But come in, and there's really wonderful things happening inside. Number 2, some customer changed our address on the Apple Maps. And in the summer when we had our patio, people could enter on Commonwealth because we spanned a whole block. So don't be fooled. If you're on Apple products,
they're going to give you the wrong direction.
They're going to give you the wrong address.
And we haven't been able to change that. So people show up and think we're closed because it looks like an abandoned building over there, but they're just one block to the north. You just got to come down one block to the south and come down, and you'll find us.
That's right. So now you're in the know. use the Google Maps or ask Gary or Leslie how to find us, or Terry or Teresa now. Look for the red door and wonderful things will be waiting you. Yes.
So one other thing I want to add here, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if you can see behind us here, but if you look at where we're standing behind a fermentation tank, and if you look at the size of this fermentation tank, our first tanks in Park City weren't even this high. And this is just the cone of the tank now, where we have all the waste product. So we actually have more waste product in this area than we had in total fermentation when we started in Park City.
The very, very first tanks were the size of a keg.
Wow.
There were half barrels. That was the first, that was the very first system that we had when we were doing recipe development.
Yeah, 15 gallons. And now the tank behind us is nearly 5,000.
Yeah.
So 120 barrel.
Yeah, they've been getting bigger.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
You want to turn over?
Yeah.
Sure.
Here we go. Hi, everybody. This is really fun. I'm super happy to be part of these virtual happy hours that we're going to be doing, and I'm glad that the Arts Council is included. I've been in my position for about 6 years, about the same amount of time that these Shades of Pale started, or came to South Salt Lake, and I just have to say, when I first got into my job, because I grew up in Salt Lake. I never knew South Salt Lake was even a city. Okay, sorry, but I didn't. And when I first came into my job, I started realizing all these cool things that are happening in this neighborhood. And it was so fun to meet people like Alex and Trent and realize that we have these cool things happening. And I've seen over the years their business change and their space evolve. Like she said, back when you used to have to find your way through this creepy meatpacking plant. And I miss those days because, especially at Halloween, and it was like a ghost, it was like a spook alley. I mean, it was just crazy. And I'm glad I got to experience that, but it's been so fun to see them change over the years. And just all of the creative people we have in this neighborhood was one of the first things that I realized when I came into this job. And we, the Arts Council, worked with the city a few years ago on a arts district master plan. And through that, we don't, because we want to have arts involved in the city, and we want to have an arts district, but we realized the South Salt Lake is unique, and it's not just about art, it's about the creative businesses. And seeing what they do at Shades and these amazing products, it really is art, it's creativity, and that's what we're trying to help promote as part of the Arts Council, some of the things that we do. One of the big things we do with the Arts Council is our annual Mural Fest, which you may have heard of. We started three years ago. 2018 was our first year, and we work in partnership with Utah Arts Alliance, and our goal is to create 10 murals in the downtown area each year for 10 years, so that eventually we'll have 100 murals in an outdoor gallery in this neighborhood. And the first year we had 23 artists apply. They were all local. The second year we had 47 artists apply. Last year we had 143, and this year we had 158. So it's really growing, and we have artists from all over the world, and actually international artists applying too. So we're really proud of how this has grown. Last year, obviously COVID threw us a wrench, and part of Mural Fest is we have an outdoor community celebration, a big free event with music and beer and wine and just drinks, and we couldn't do that, but we were able to pull off 6 murals last year, and they're amazing. And if you haven't had a chance to look at them, we also created a new website dedicated just for Mural Fest. It's themuralfest.com. You can go on there and you can see all of the murals. You can learn about the artists, and there's an interactive Google map that will show you where they are. And then this year we are on track again to do 10 more murals. It's a little challenging finding walls. You would think that wouldn't be, I don't know if you would think that was hard, but that's actually one of the hardest parts about the process. So if you know anybody that has a building in the downtown area that wants, that would be interested in donating a wall for a mural, we would love to hear about it. But we have, again, some amazing artists that are known worldwide that have applied, and it's really hard to choose these artists. And that will be in May 1st through the 15th is when the painting happens. And then this year, instead of the big event, in-person event, we will be doing a COVID safe or socially distanced artist meet and greet walking tour with music and entertainment at the mural sites and food trucks and things like that. So we'll still be able to celebrate it, and it will be fun. And May 15th. And then another big thing that the Arts Council does that we started about the same time was an event called Craftoberfest. And that Craftoberfest is designed to celebrate and promote our creative businesses like the breweries and distilleries. And eventually we would like to grow it to include other food businesses and other creative, things like furniture makers and other artist type entrepreneurs and things like that. But we weren't able to hold it last year. This year, we are hoping to be able to have an event in October. By then we should be okay. And it's outdoors, so hopefully. And then this year it will maybe a little bit different. And we just sort of came up with this today because one of the artists from Mural Fest that is not able to come because of COVID, her name, she's from Mexico. She goes by Atentamente is her, I don't know if that's how you say, is that right? And you have to look her up on Instagram because she is unbelievable. And she's slated to paint on Beehive. She's going to do their whole south side and her art is very Tim Burton-ish, and she's actually done work for Tim Burton before. So we're hoping to bring her. She couldn't get her visa renewed because of, COVID and all that. And so she can't come for Mural Fest, but we're thinking about bringing her in October as like a featured artist for Craftoberfest, and then hold Craftoberfest out there on the street. So that'll be fun. So watch for that. And let's see, what else?
Can we drink on the street now?
If we close off the street, yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Congratulations, you got that changed.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, we worked on that last year, and we realized that we can't actually close down a street because we have parks in the city, but we don't have a city-owned space downtown, and so that's one way around it. We are working on so when we did the Creative Industry Zone Master Plan, it was a great project that identified this area and the assets and sort of some priorities for what do we want to do, but we didn't do a lot with it. We just sort of did this plan and we called it the Creative Industry Zone. And it's funny how COVID has made you sort of realign your efforts because you can't do this, so let's do this instead. So we took some of that money that we would have spent on Craftoberfest and we put it into some branding for the Creative Industry Zone. So we will be unveiling a new logo and branding campaign for the area, which we're excited about. We're working with 2 South Salt Lake firms on this, Parliament Marketing and another group of artists, sort of an artistic creative firm called Merry Thieves, and they're creating an exploratory and interactive app for the Creative Industry Zone, which will be fun. It will feature the creative businesses. It'll have links to all the, it'll be more interactive than just the website where you could go and learn about. We're looking at having QR codes and augmented reality and things like that. But it's a way to bring people into the neighborhood and engage them with not just the murals, but also the creative businesses and the breweries and distilleries. So hopefully that will be launching soon. So that's what we're working on.
Can you explain a little bit more of the Creative Industry Zone for these people?
So, okay. No,
I was going to talk about the Merry Thieves.
Oh, okay.
They came in here with microphones.
Yeah.
And they mic'd the beer fermenting. And
yeah, one of the features of this app is audio tours, and so you go into the tour. It's Taste of South Salt Lake, so it's talking about the different breweries and distilleries, and eventually it'll expand to restaurants and things. And they created these really cool audio tours where, you know, you're just listening, but you're hearing, like Alex said, the sounds of the brewery and popping open, you know, yeah, they're really great. And
They did a great job.
yeah, so I've heard a couple of them. They're really fun. Gary just wanted me to explain a little bit more about the creative industry zone. I think, like I said, this area is unique. We have a lot of underutilized warehouse space, and it's just organically becoming a place where artists and creative businesses and entrepreneurs are moving in. You know, we're trying to promote that too with through the events that we do, through networking, supporting the businesses like that, but it's also just really happening organically through all the attention that's being brought to this area. And there is all, you know, the development that's going on, and it's really changing like crazy. But so, wait, you want okay. I think that's all.
See if they got any questions.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions?
This is Ross. I have a question. How many breweries are in South Salt Lake?
We have 7 breweries and distilleries total. So
Yeah.
4 breweries and 3 distilleries.
Seems like you guys have got a pretty good collection there, and mural piece complements the.
Sorry,
Talk about our art. You did that.
Sorry, Ross, what did you say?
No, I was just complimenting you on finding this industry and the mural piece that I think lends itself well to that outdoor viewing experience.
Yeah, it's been really fun, and we're super proud of it. And you know, people look at us now as like a leader in murals, and I get calls all the time. We want to do murals in our city. How do we do it? And we just kind of started. We just made it up as we went along. But our partner Utah Arts Alliance is great too. They're a big piece of it, and they have, you know, connections to a lot of artists. But it's amazing how much I personally have learned in the last 3.5 years on this. The mural that's on Shades is by a local artist named Chuck Landbatter, and he has done other murals in the city. He has a giant one on an apartment building that he has 2. They're give developments. The one is on North Temple and 600 West, and that one's my favorite. It looks, everybody thinks it's a poet, but it's actually a historical woman from Utah, and I can't remember who she is, but it's really cool. And then he did a giant one on another give development that's over, it's probably about 500 North and 4th West. And it's of a man holding a child's hand. I mean, his work is just beautiful, but he's a classically trained artist. A lot of these artists that we get, you know, he teaches art at Utah State. He's a classically trained artist. His work is amazing, but they love doing murals. And so it's fun to see how their art and their talent translates to a wall.
More questions?
Any other questions?
What kind of difficulties do you run into as far as finding the wall space for that? And also my garage, the side of my garage I would love to donate for a mural. And I'm in South Salt Lake, so.
Oh man, okay, so that's a really loaded question, and I'm trying to decide where to start here. Finding the walls is tricky because number one, not everybody wants a mural on their building, and I can appreciate that. In this area, we run into, yes, I'd love a mural on my building, but I just sold it to a developer and it's getting torn down in a couple of years, which is gonna happen across the street. We will do a mural on a building, even if we know it's gonna be there a couple of years at least, 2 or 3 years. I mean, a lot of the artists just love to paint. They just love to see their art on the wall, and they know that it's not permanent. And we ask property owners to sign a 3-year lease agreement that they'll leave it up for 3 years. Some property owners want to be very involved in the design process. Others are just, they let the artist have free will, and you know, not that they don't care what goes on the wall, but they're more willing, they don't want to provide as much input. So it's a big matching, it's a big, huge puzzle that we have to put together. Once we have the walls and we have the artists, trying to pair the artists with the property owner is tricky because, you know, like I said, there's also input. It's also the size of the wall, you know, how experienced is the artist? Have they done big walls? Some artists will do a giant wall for the same amount of money as an artist who is used to getting paid a lot for murals. And so they, you know, it's more for them, it's more about dollars per square foot. So it just totally depends on the artist. And then there's like different surfaces. We did one 2 years ago that was like a corrugated metal. That's, you know, that was a challenge. Is it cinder block? What's the wall like? How, you know, some artists use spray paint, some use bucket paint, some use stencils. So there's a lot that goes into it. It's like I said, it's been a learning process, and you think, oh, let's just go paint a wall. That just sounds so easy, but it's much more complicated than that.
Yeah. Poor Leslie.
No, but it's fun. I mean,
I'm sure.
I've had some meltdowns the last couple of days, and you guys hit me actually right. We're in the thick of it right now because we thought we had a bunch of buildings lined up, and then one artist can't come, so we lost that building. Another artist, anyway, it's just, you know, there's a lot of pieces to put together, but it's fun. So
why don't you give your email address in case they know someone that you want to approach? Okay, and these guys know a lot of people.
And I will just add one comment. The city is in the process of writing, revising some of their ordinances and the sign ordinance. And part of that, which is great, they're writing a mural ordinance, which, you know, most cities in the past don't have a mural ordinance. Murals would just kind of fall under the sign ordinance, and that you run into a lot of problems with that because murals are definitely not signs. And so it's great that the mural ordinance is being addressed, and it protects the city, it protects the artists. But we're running into an issue with the draft of ours right now, where they're wanting to limit where murals can be, and it's sort of just to start out with, and, you know, as sort of like a test with the ordinance to make sure that everybody's happy with it, and then they'll hopefully open it up to other areas. So this year's a little more of a challenge because we're sort of confined to the downtown area, which, if you know, it's basically the square in between the freeways and State Street and 21st South. So, and again, like I said, a lot of those buildings are getting torn down. So that's specifically the area we're looking at this year. If you know anybody in that area, you can have them email me, but my email islallen, ALLEN @SSLC. Oh, I can write it in the chat, .com. I'm so used to a Mac.
Questions for Alex?
Yeah, does anybody have any questions for Alex or Trent?
Who comes up with all of the different flavors?
Oh, you love all the different flavors?
Who comes up with all of the different flavors?
It's most of the time it's a team effort. So we had, was it 44 or 48 new beers last year? Okay, so we ended up coming up with 44 new beers last year, in addition to the 25 or more that we normally have. And Gary asked me, is that too many? And I said, absolutely not. People love the limited releases. They love the new crazy beers like pistachio ice cream and, you know, guavalicious and mango chili and strawberry banana. Peach habanero. And we've, you know, we've sold out of most of them. So we just have like the most recent in stock. And quite honestly, that's what's kept us in business during the pandemic, is coming up with these really delicious, crazy limited releases that people can't resist. They just love them. Pickled pineapple and jalapeno. So So our brewers came up with with most of them to begin with, and then we had so many. Then that expanded to the team, so we ended up giving more input, and then we even expanded that even more to our customers. And we did a post and had, I don't know, like hundreds of comments. Make us this, make us this, make us this. And so our brewers could go through and say, okay, let me think about the flavors and how they might come together. So it's a collaborative effort, as is what the actual recipe will be as well. So our brewmasters pretty awesome, and our brewers.
Well, they're not afraid to experiment.
Yeah, they're not afraid to experiment, but we're coming. Yeah. So we come up with so many that we don't have time to perfect a recipe, do 2, 3, 4 times until, this is the right recipe, because we're coming out with them almost weekly. So the way things go is we kind of start with what we think is going to be a great mix of flavors and a great idea for a beer. And then it'll be kind of like the cook in the kitchen. I think I'll add a little of this, a little of that, a little of this. And then when the beer's almost ready, they'll taste it and they'll come bring it to the team. And we're like, this might need a little bit more vanilla, or might need a little more green color, might need a little of this. And then they'll tweak it in the tank until it's ready. And thank God that's kind of worked for us so far. Yeah. Yeah. And we're not afraid to throw things away. We don't do that very often, but if it doesn't taste good, we don't put it out. It's,
do you do like a whole tank?
so Leslie's asking how much we do. So we are restricted by how little we can make, and how much we can make. Our canner is like, we have a beer pipeline across the brewery that takes the beer from this room and shoots it across the building to the canning room. So we need to can a minimum amount. So we got to be kind of pretty right on. So,
80 to about 200 cases.
So what you're not hearing is Trent saying is that the number of cases that we make somewhere between 80 and 200. And the actual amount will depend on how much we think we'll be able to sell, because clearly we don't want to sit on beer. Next week is a new beer coming out. So we have made so many already that we have an idea of what is the most popular, what people want the most. So we make more of those. Like our peanut butter and jelly beers, like they've been sold out. And
PB&J.
Yeah, PB&J, they're all sold out. We made strawberry, raspberry, strawberry, and I think we're gonna do an apricot this year. Sometimes we have pre-orders from our distributor up in Idaho. We've now got signed up with a outfit that will do some shipping. They've already asked us for some beer. We're like, we're sold out, but okay, that, we might be bringing that out again. And then once a year, what we do is we let our customers vote on the beers that they liked the most or that they want to see brought back. And we'll bring back like the top 3 or the top 5. I think we've done the top 3. And so we just kind of finish that vote. And so that determines which ones come back. We have some beers, like for example, our peach cobbler, and people just ask for a peach cobbler. But I mean, we can only make so many beers regularly. It's already very complicated to rotate 25 different permanent beers, plus all these temporary beers through the tanks that we have. Just like the timing, the whole thing is very complex. So we bring this beer whenever we have enough tank space, because we know that people want it, and we'll sell out of it. So yes, Gary's asking if the menu is on the website anywhere, and the answer is yes. So our website is shadesbrewing.beer, and we do have our menu, our beer to go menu on the website. We also have what's available in the tap room. Sometimes that's a little different because it's two separate licenses. So the tap room, which is the club, basically purchases beer from the beer to go. She's got PB&J.
What's that?
Like, this is kind of a treat. He said that he doesn't even have any more to sell.
No, we have a he might have his personal stash, or it might be for quality control. We keep some beers for quality control, so we'll know how long they'll last. We'll taste them after a month, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months to basically be able to determine the quality and how the longevity of certain beers. So, yeah, so I think that answers the question. They're trying the PB&J. What did you think?
It's amazing.
How about you, Gary?
The problem is spreading this on a slice of bread, PB&J. So I'll just drink it. This is great. So everyone on this call, you have been to Shades, right? When you heard about the instructions, don't go to Apple, go to Google Maps, that type of a thing. It's you need to get here, okay? That's every day 3 on, like I said, but just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where you can sit and drink some beer. Oh, yeah. These folks are such a great addition to this community. It's been really fun to get to know them. Well, 6 years now, huh? Since you moved down from Park City. That doesn't happen very often. Usually people get mad and pick up and move to Park City. So we're glad it happened this way. Any final questions for Alex or Leslie? There's a lot going on in the city, and we want to do our part to make sure that we don't forget who built this city and who started helping build it better even 6 years ago. The next one of these will be on April 14th. That's our plan, and it'll be from some colleagues. They're really more colleagues than competitors, but Level Crossing Brewery is where we plan to broadcast from on April 14th. But questions? Back to Alex and Leslie or Teresa or Terry. I hear people signing off. Does that mean you're getting mad and leaving?
Well, I'm signing on, and the next location that you're at, I want to be there personally. If I have to have a cape or whatever I need to have to come in and participate in that side of the meeting, I won't have to say anything. Just let me enjoy the beverages with you. I would be so appreciative.
Well, James, for you, you've got to wear an entire body mask. Okay, we're going to put you in a bubble and feed you through a straw for the brewskis. Okay, whom else? You got anything you want to wrap with? You know, like Leslie was saying, it's and I was in her boat up until 6 years ago when she joined here. I did not know there was a city of South Salt Lake. I drove from Salt Lake to Murray down State Street, and that's it. And then drove back up State Street from Murray to Salt Lake. This city's from 21st South to 39th South, 7 feet to the Jordan River. And this creative industry zone and this crew of an incredible brewers and distillers we have are just one of the fun things going on in this city. And if you've driven around here, you'll see the new construction going on. We have a new building just across from Winco on Main Street that'll be occupied in about 3 weeks. That's 6 stories. Plus the building next to it, which is residential and commercial. It's just, well, we don't match Salt Lake. Salt Lake, I remember somebody, Fred Ball, used to be head of the Salt Lake Chamber, called the state bird the crane, the crane that helps build things. There are so many high rises going in downtown Salt Lake. It's unbelievable, but we're close enough to piggyback and offer something Salt Lake City can't. And we're excited about that. Closing comments? We sure appreciate the courtesy and eat your heart out. No, we're not going to drink these. I'm driving. But thanks so much for Shades. And Leslie is a true partner in crime of mine with the Chamber of Partners of the City. And I want to thank Did you say Teresa? Terry Nielsen, the co-chairs of this very, very successful Women in Business Committee. Many of you know this today. So thanks. I'll see if you have any comments.
No, we just want to thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you. In addition to our Shamrock Shake, we're also going to have Irish car bombs and Ellie's Irish stew, which by the way is amazing. She just tried it. We're having a pop-up kitchen and it's totally delicious. And what's the green? Oh, Shamrock shooters. So yes, so come prepared to celebrate.
Do you have Uber to get people rides home after the shooters?
Uber will be totally, I'm sure, willing to pick anybody up. Yeah.
Now that stew, that's really food from a kitchen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Make sure that wasn't a beer.
Yeah.
everything else is a beer.
Well, it is. Ellie's Irish stew actually does have sweet drinks in it. Sweet drinks, imperial porter.
Now, is that St. Patty's Day only?
It'll be the whole weekend, so Thursday through Sunday, and then we'll be open on Wednesday, the actual St. Patty's Day.
What day is St. Patty's Day?
The 17th, Wednesday the 17th. We don't have a proper kitchen. We are working on seeing if we can remodel the other building here on site or figure out some sort of food solution, but we normally do bring appetizers from Sabor Latino, which is another South Salt Lake business, totally delicious empanadas. And we are working on what else we can do out of here until we can have a more robust food offering.
Well, with everything you guys have heard, Trent and Alex and their team, I'd never heard the term makers before till I met Leslie. They make really good stuff. They're artists. And you can see by their palette, they're really incredible artists. So I hope you get down here, enjoy some of I insist you get down here, enjoy some of their product. So I'll end with that. Terry, Teresa, anything?
Thanks, everyone. It was so good to be here. Maybe soon we'll start doing these in person again and James can be happy. It's good to see you guys.
Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, including the South Salt Lake Chamber, Shades, and the South Salt Lake Arts Council, so you can stay connected and know when the next one is going to come up. Thank you.
Hey, one thing before you go. You guys are you guys are the most incredible people I've met. I've been here a long time. I am so grateful to be in South Salt Lake, to be amongst you animals. It is so cool. You guys are wonderful, and thank you for being the kind of people that I like. God bless you.
Thanks very much. The check's in the mail. Thanks for that, James.
It's about time you pay me.
Appreciate it. I'll wait a little longer. Thanks. So are we shut down? Let's make sure we're shut down before I make a comment. I don't want to say something.
End meeting.